Recently, Steve Martin and a group of awesomely talented guys scaled a kind of musical Mount Everest. That is, if you like banjo and bluegrass, as I do, what Mark Twain called the genuine, glory-beaming music. Then you'll appreciate how Steve Martin shows everyone what can happen in life when you concentrate on something really difficult, but something you love.
Everything he created was always original and a kind of Cadillac of comedy.
How'd you get so funky?
Looking easy. Anything but.
Excuse me.
Even the dopiest things on Saturday Night Live were a complex choreography of perfection, of words, arms, legs, bending us over into laughter. No wonder we never paid much attention to that musical instrument.
I played it a little bit on stage when I was a stand-up comedian. And the reason I played it on stage is because my act was so crazy, I thought it's probably good to show the audience I can do something that looks hard. Because this act looks like I'm just making it up, and I really wasn't. I worked very hard on it.
He was a little kid in the 50s and 60s growing up in Orange County, California, working at Disneyland when he first heard that sound that seemed an invitation to the impossible.
And my ear was just transfixed by the sound of the banjo. And I got one as soon as I could.
A famous group, the Dillards, played on the Andy Griffith Show. And on the radio, the Master. With some help from a high school friend, Steve Martin taught himself to play the songs of Earl Scruggs.
I would get records by Earl Scruggs, 33 RPM, and you could slow them down to 16 and a quarter, I think it was. And I would tune my banjo down, and I'd pick out the songs note by note and learn how to play them that way.
But outsiders say you have to be crazy to think you can ever get the respect of the kings of bluegrass, whose lives are dedicated to one hand, 600 notes a minute, 11 notes a second.
Even your mom said you were nuts. In my dreams.
But Martin gathered up a band, writing the songs himself. Only the banjo, he says, can arc all the way from hilarity to heartbreak. On one of his 2 albums, he wrote a melody for Nancy Short, who died a year ago.
I dedicated it to my friend Marty Shorts.
I'm sorry.
Come on, I'll play it for you.
It's called The Great Remember. And Steve Martin has proved every doubter wrong. Believe it or not, just last week he won the biggest award in bluegrass. He and the band named Entertainers of the Year.
And our 2011 Entertainer of the Year is Steve Martin and the Steep Canyon Rangers.
The greatest thing, the bluegrass community can be very strict. I felt really welcome.
He's played at the Capitol for one of the biggest audiences ever for bluegrass.
To think that I played banjo for the President of the United States has to be one of the greatest thrills of his life.
And not so very long ago on The Letterman Show, the little boy from Orange County got to stand right next to the king from the radio, bluegrass master, Earl Scruggs.
And so we choose Steve Martin and his Steep Canyon Rangers, and you can learn more about them and their albums at abcnews.com. And by the way, there's a present waiting for you there. He performed 2 songs just for us, and those performances are online.